This is the next part of the flipping 1K to 100K series, and we got our next two cars. We're gonna be flipping two cars at the same time in this video, and I'm gonna be showing you exactly why we purchased both cars, what we had to do to get both cars ready for sale, including a little bit of rust repair with this one, and of course what we ended up selling both cars for as well. My name is Jamal from Flipping University. Let's get to it. Alright, so before we go outside and check out the cars, first I just want to show you exactly why we purchased the cars and even showing off the listing ads and different things like that. Of course, again, I purchased both of the cars through ACV Auctions. That's the online dealer only auction that I usually use to get most of cars that I purchase nowadays, really. But this was the first one that came up. It came up basically about 3 days ago from the time that I'm recording this, and yeah, it's a Jeep Patriot. It's a 2012 Jeep Patriot. It has 163,000 miles on it, and it's a green light car, basically just meaning that there's a bit of a warranty associated with it as well. And all in together, I paid $2,000 for it, basically right over $2,000. The ending price came to $1,550, and then the buyer fee was $175, and on top of that, it was $300 for the transport price as well. Now, the reason why I bought it was specifically because, first of all, it didn't really need much of anything. If you can look here, the pictures is looking really good from the inside and out, and you'll see it in person as well, but you can see it's in very good condition. Looks like they even might have detailed the car before they sold the car themselves. The only thing that's wrong with it, and you'll see it more in person as well, is that there's a little bit of rusting on part of the body panel, and I'll show you again in person once we get to it. But if you can look here, looking through the description, there's no mechanical problems. If there was anything, it would be all right here. And now I'm going to show you what the price could sell for when we're selling it through private party as well. Alright, so I usually like to use Kelley Blue Book to check the pricing for the car, just because realistically when people come to buy the cars, that's usually what they use as well when it comes to that point, basically, so might as well use the same thing, right? But the price is showing through Kelley Blue Book is around $4,000 for the private party value for good condition. Of course, I'm probably going to be looking to sell it a little bit under that, just so that I could sell a little bit faster, but it's got some good profit margin. You know, I only paid $2,000 for it. Alright, so this is the next car that I got. This one's a 2008 Toyota Sienna. This one I got for $2,300, and it has 222 miles on it, which is crazy, right? That a car could actually be higher mileage like that. And I think it's actually, yeah, it's an older year as well. It's a 2008, the other one was a 2012, but it's a Toyota, so you know, this one, it just holds its value a lot better, and people won't be afraid to buy this, even with it being a decent higher mileage like that. And the good thing with this one is it's kind of a bit of a flip. Condition wise, it's great. There's no rusting or anything like that with the other car, but at the same time there is a little bit of mechanical work that's going to be needed with this one. Nothing crazy, but if you look here to the left, it does have a code on for P0306, which basically links to being a cylinder misfire. Again, it's nothing crazy. It's probably just going to need a tune-up, and that's about it, just changing out the spark plugs and stuff like that. But it is something I'm going to have to do. Along with that, it's also going to be needing a little bit of detailing work from what I saw with the pictures as well. But let me show you what it could sell for as well. Alright, so this is the price for this one. This one, the average private party value is basically $4,800 for it. Which again is crazy. It's crazy how well Toyotas keep their value. But yeah, it's between $3,800 to $4,800 basically for it, so I'll be alright to sell it anywhere in that range, really. Of course, the higher the better, but anywhere in that range would be good. And from the looks of it, I could probably make about $1,500 off of each car, most likely pretty quickly as well, without too much mechanical work or anything. But let me show you what it looks like in person. Alright, and this is what it looks like in person. First of all, sorry for the background noise. These people have been building this house for the longest now, but never mind that. Overall, it's looking good. It does have a car inspection sticker. The only thing to really keep note of is that right there. It's basically the only thing we have to kind of fix up. It's pretty ugly as it is, but we're gonna see if we could do something to kind of touch it up. But overall, the condition is really good, and yeah, I'm liking how it looks. this is actually one of the first cars that I got from the auction where it looks like they even detailed the interior. Like, I don't even think I really have to clean this up myself at all. Everything is already clean. There's basically nothing that's really dusty and dirty like that. So this one, mainly just that rust spot right there. And then this is the van also. Again, this one's in very good condition as well. There's not even any rust spots or anything like that with this one. But as I mentioned before, it does also have a check engine light on for the misfire code, and I did check that already, and it still stands to that. All right, so what I'm going to be starting with first is going to be repairing this rust. I can't just leave it like this. I know how people are. Realistically, this thing is already pretty fragile. Like, you could touch some spots like this and it just breaks off. So I know people are going to be complaining about it if they come to check it out. So first off, I will say this was my very first time doing any type of rust repair, so keep that in mind with anything. But overall, I'm glad that I did, you know, try it out, and I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more of it going forward because it saved a lot of money, especially if I took it to a shop instead. I'm not going to be going into the specifics of how I did everything. If you guys want like a full video explaining how to do it, if you want to do it yourself as well, you can just drop it into the comments below. But it wasn't really too hard. I mean, the main steps was just removing the rust in the beginning, then of course giving it structure after that. There was like a pretty big hole after I removed all the rust and everything, but filled it back up, you know, used the body filler and everything, and then sanded it down and started painting over it. But it really wasn't too hard of a process. Obviously, I'm simplifying things a pretty decent amount, but overall it probably took, I'd say, maybe like 2 hours in total. Didn't cost too much either. I'd say for everything combined in terms of the materials I need, it was about $100. So definitely not an expensive job either. And this is the result after. I definitely will say, again, I mean, this is my first time. I had made some mistakes with it. I would say going back, as I mentioned, the rust spots did come out a little bit. Like I wish I would have sanded it down a little bit more. I sanded it down in the beginning, but it really wasn't enough to take it all out. I should have sanded it down to like bare metal completely. But let's say those spots right there, you know, that's basically the rust spots in the panel. But overall, I mean, for my first time, especially considering how bad it was before, where I could literally just knock into it and things just start breaking off, now this is a lot better. People shouldn't be complaining about this as much. Yeah, they might nitpick it on a little bit, but it shouldn't be something that would stop them from buying the car. All right, so now that we're done with the Jeep over there, the funny thing is that was really about all I had to do. Again, like the detailing was already done with the cars, so saved me a lot of time with that. But now we can go on to the Toyota Sienna. I'm just gonna move on to detailing it first, just because I'm still waiting for the parts to come to do the tune-up, and then I'll get on to that right after. So now that the detailing is out the way, now we're going to get on to the last part, which is just getting that check engine light out of the way as well. And it was a pretty simple thing. It was on for, it came up for the cylinder 6 misfire, which generally speaking, especially if it's just one cylinder that's misfiring, is usually just a tune-up that can fix it. If it doesn't fix it, it is what it is. Honestly, for this mileage, it would be good to just do a tune-up regardless. But I'm going to switch out the spark plugs and the coils, and we'll see what happens after that. And I did want to mention too, the amount for the parts was around $80 for both of them together. It was about $60 for the coilovers. I got that through Amazon as well, and then around another $20 for the spark plugs. The great thing I will say, if you're getting things through Amazon, things like parts, is that not only does it come pretty fast, but at the same time you also have a good return policy. So let's say you could literally try out whatever the part is for that car, and if it doesn't work, then it's all good. You could just take the part back and get your money back as well. I wouldn't just suggest throwing every part at the car without knowing anything about what's actually going on, but still, it's a great policy to have. Really wasn't bad at all, though. I will say I ended up missing out on the footage from changing the back cylinders. The back cylinders were a little bit more work to get to, but still, overall, didn't take me more than about 30 minutes to do the whole job. So now I'm about to be posting up both of the cars for the Jeep. I'm going to be posting it up and looking to sell it really around like $3,500. It seems like that would be a good price range for this car. It looks like on Kelley Blue Book It goes for between like 3,000 on the lowest scale to like 4,000 on average. So you know, I'm trying to go around there. And then for the van, I'm going to be posting that up and looking to sell it like a little closer to $4,000, somewhere around there. I'd be okay to go a little bit under that, but we'll see what we end up getting. Let's go. So we sold both the cars, and pretty quickly too. It basically sold within a week of the time that I got the cars and everything. So very nice and quick flips, and they sold very close together too. The Jeep sold the first day and the van sold the other day. With the Jeep, we ended up selling basically for what around I was expecting, for around $3,500 for it. So let's say with that one, we were all in around $2,100, so we made $1,400 profit off of that one. And then with the van, we ended up going a little under $4,000 and sold it for $3,800. And with that one, we were all in around $2,500, so we made technically a little bit less profit. It was about $1,300 profit, but we did also do a little bit less with it. It's basically just a detail and then a very quick change with the spark plugs and all as well. I would say I probably could have made a little bit more profit off of the van if I really tried to like wait a little bit longer, but for this price range, honestly, that's not really the point. You're really just trying to get quicker flips instead. So for me, the profit is completely fine. And honestly, I mean, for together, both of them equaled about $2,700 of profit, which is not bad at all. And I am gonna show on screen what we ended up getting to with the series so far as well. I believe we're like right above 10,000 right now, but we'll see. I'll put it up on screen. And I will say, I mean, going forward, I probably will be doing a little bit higher flips, but right now I would want to do a couple more really cheap flips just because we're going into tax season. And for you guys as well, if you are going into flipping cars, try to get those cheap cars now, because let's say after January, things are going to start getting a little bit more expensive, at least if you want to get a really cheap car like that. And if you are looking for a way that you can get into these dealer auctions yourself, and you get into a website like the one that I use, ACV Auctions, which is just a dealer only site, you could go to the link in the description below. I basically just put together a whole video explaining how you can get into dealer auctions and different things like that without having your own dealership yourself. But that's everything. Make sure you subscribe for that next part of the series that comes out, and until next time, peace.